Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video like this one. And drop a comment down below. I want to know, who is your bias in BABYMONSTER? Let me know right now because by the end of this video, your answer might just change. Alright, let's get into it. Imagine being a group that has barely existed for 2 years, and you're already rewriting the rulebook of the K-pop industry. Not just competing with the best. Not just surviving the pressure of being the next big thing from one of the most legendary labels in South Korea. But literally dismantling records that took other groups years, sometimes a decade, to build. That is exactly what Babi Monster is doing right now, in 2026. And if you think that's an exaggeration, stay with me, because the numbers and the facts we're about to go through are going to genuinely blow your mind. Let's start from the very beginning, because to understand how unbelievably far this group has come, you need to understand the impossible weight they were carrying before they even released a single note. Babi Monster debuted under YG Entertainment, the same company that created 2NE1 in 2009 and Blackpink in 2016. Two of the most globally dominant girl groups in K-pop history. Two groups that set a standard so impossibly high that the entire K-pop world was watching to see if any group could even come close to following in those footsteps. That pressure alone would have broken most artists before they even got started. But these 7 girls, Ruka, Farita, Asa, Ahayan, Rami, Rora, and Chiquita, didn't just survive it. They thrived under it. And here's something that makes this group genuinely unique in the entire K-pop landscape. Babi Monster is a truly multinational powerhouse. 3 South Korean members, Ahayan, Rami, and Rora. 2 Japanese members, Ruka and Asa. 2 Thai members, Farita and Chiquita. These girls trained for an average of 4 to 5 years before ever stepping on a stage, with Ruka, Rora, and Asa each training for 6 full years under YG. When you hear them perform, when you watch them move, that level of dedication is written into every single second of their stage presence. And the world noticed. Before they even officially debuted, Babi Monster was already making history. Their YouTube channel surpassed 1 million subscribers in just 52 days from creation, and 2 million subscribers in 129 days, making them the fastest K-pop girl group to hit those milestones at the time. The pre-debut promotional single, Dream, debuted at number 1 on Billboard's Hot Trending Songs chart. A group that hadn't even officially debuted yet, and they were already topping Billboard charts. Let that sink in for a second. Then came Batter Up in November 2023, released as a 6-member group while Ahayan was on temporary hiatus for health reasons. That music video amassed 22.59 million views within a single day, becoming the most viewed debut music video in the first 24 hours in K-pop history at the time of its release. It also became the fastest debut MV to reach 100 million views on YouTube, crossing that milestone in just 18 days. On Spotify, Batter Up hit 10 million streams in 10 days, the fastest for a rookie K-pop girl group at that point. Critics were divided. Some questioned whether the group could step out of Blackpink's shadow. But BABYMONSTER had a very clear response to their doubters, and that response was everything that came next. On April 1, 2024, Babi Monster officially debuted as a full 7-member group with their first EP, BABYMONSTER. The lead single, Sich, became their first top 10 hit on South Korea's Circle Digital chart. The EP received over 460,000 pre-orders before release. And Sich became the highest charting K-pop girl group entry on Spotify that year, debuting on the Daily Top Songs global chart with 1.76 million streams. It also stayed on the Billboard Global 200 for 14 weeks and on the Billboard Global XCL US chart for 18 weeks. For a debut EP, extraordinary. And they weren't done warming up yet. Not even close. Later that year, in November 2024, Babi Monster dropped their debut full-length studio album, Drip. It sold over 1 million copies in South Korea, making them certified million sellers, a milestone many groups spend years chasing. The album's title track, Drip, became their second top 10 hit on the Circle Digital chart. And buried inside that album was a B-side track that, months later, would take on a life of its own, Really Like You. That song would go on to peak at number 30 on the Billboard Global 200, a new personal best for the group, hit the top 10 on the Circle Digital charts for the second time, and reach number 26 on the Billboard Japan Hot 100, an all-time high for Babi Monster in Japan. Then in January 2026, it went even further viral, ranking at the top of TikTok Korea's Viral 50 music chart for 5 consecutive days from January 11th to 15th, and dominating Korea's daily YouTube Shorts trending songs chart. A B-side track from an album that came out in 2024. Still charting, still trending, still making new fans in 2026. That is the staying power of Babi Monster's music. But okay, if you think the music was impressive, wait until we talk about what happened live. Because this is where I need you to pay very close attention, and this is the part that, in my opinion, truly separates Babi Monster from almost every other group in the current generation of K-pop. In January 2025, Babi Monster launched their first ever world tour, Hello Monsters. They kicked it off with a 2-night concert at the KSPO Dome in Seoul. From there, they went to Japan, covering Kanagawa, Aichi, Osaka, and Fukuoka, and the Japan leg alone attracted an astounding 150,000 fans. They then moved across Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Bangkok, Ho Chi Minh City, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, and Taipei. After that, they crossed the Pacific and hit North America in a major way, Prudential Center in Newark, the iconic Kia Forum in Los Angeles, Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Oakland Arena, and finally Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. By the time the Hello Monsters World Tour concluded, Babi Monster had performed across 32 dates in 20 cities and attracted a cumulative audience of 300,000 concertgoers worldwide. For a group in their first full year of activity as a 7-member group, 300,000 people. And concertgoers who attended these shows, many of whom had never seen them before, came away absolutely floored. The live vocals, the stage production, the pyrotechnics, the individual solo performances, reviewers and fans consistently described the show as one of the best live K-pop concert experiences they had ever witnessed. That reputation isn't built on hype. It's built on talent that you can't fake. Now here is something I want you to think about, because this actually reveals a lot about how serious and how real Babi Monster's global momentum is. During the Asia leg of their world tour, member Rami had to step away due to health concerns starting from the Singapore show onward. The remaining 6 members didn't falter. They didn't cancel. They didn't lower the bar. They showed up, night after night, and delivered at the same level, if not higher. Every fan who attended during that period left those venues saying the same thing: the talent is undeniable, the production is top-notch, and every single member poured everything they had into that stage. That resilience, that absolute refusal to let their fans down, tells you everything about who Babi Monster is as artists. And then while the world was still catching its breath from Hello Monsters, on October 10, 2025, Babi Monster released their second mini-album, We Go Up. The lead single of the same name continued their chart momentum, and the music video became yet another member of the ever-growing list of BABYMONSTER MVs that have crossed 100 million YouTube views. As of late 2025, Babi Monster counts 9 official music videos with over 100 million YouTube views, including Batter Up, Stuck in the Middle, Sheesh, Forever, Drip, Click Clack, Hot Sauce, We Go Up, and Really Like You. 9 music videos. For a group that has been officially active for less than 2 years. 9. Think about how many groups with 5, 7, 10 years of activity can't say that. And the story is far from over. In fact, 2026 is shaping up to be the biggest year Babi Monster has ever had. YG Entertainment's founder Yang Hyun-suk has officially confirmed that Babi Monster will be releasing their third mini-album, Sich, in early May 2026, described as having a distinct edge and a new sonic direction. Quote, "A Babi Monster album you've never heard before." The title track, Chum, will serve as the first pre-album single, with a second single to follow before the full release. And beyond that, Yang confirmed that Babi Monster's first ever full-length debut studio album is in the works, with an October 2026 target. And if that wasn't enough, a full BABYMONSTR World Tour 2026 has also been confirmed. Monsties, the girls are literally just getting started. So let's zoom out for a second and ask the real question. What exactly makes Babi Monster different from every other group that comes out of a big label with massive hype? Because we've seen that before. Groups with incredible pre-debut buzz that couldn't sustain it. Groups with label pedigree that couldn't deliver live. What makes Babi Monster the real deal? The answer, honestly, is this: they are genuinely, technically brilliant. 7 members who each bring a completely different and irreplaceable element to the group. Ruka, the dancer's dancer, the one whose precision and power on stage is almost unfair to watch. Farida, with a stage presence that draws every eye in a room, all while being one of the warmest personalities off stage. Asa, a rapper with a flow and charisma that transcends language barriers and has built her a massive fan base in Japan and beyond. Ahayan, possibly the most talked about vocalist of her generation, whose viral cover of Dangerously literally inspired Charlie Puth to gift the group a song called Like That. That is not a normal thing that happens to rookie groups. Rami, the main vocalist whose tonal control and emotional delivery make even casual listeners stop and pay attention. Rora, the visual whose voice belies how young she is, growing in confidence and artistry with every comeback. And Chiquita, the Magne, the youngest, who somehow walks onto every stage like she's been doing this for 20 years, whose viral Traitor cover by Olivia Rodrigo during the world tour had audiences absolutely losing their minds. 7 members. 7 completely distinct talents. One group that somehow makes all of those elements feel seamless. That is why 300,000 people showed up to watch them live. That is why Really Like You was still going viral in January 2026, a full year after the album it came from was released. That is why the K-pop industry is paying attention. Because BABYMONSTR is not a product of hype. They are a product of genuine, undeniable talent, forged through years of training, shaped by real pressure, and delivered to the world through some of the most powerful performances K-pop has seen from a rookie group in a very long time. YG's new monsters aren't just breaking records. They are redefining what is possible for a K-pop girl group in their first years of activity. And with a new mini-album, a full-length debut, and a new world tour all confirmed for 2026, the question isn't whether Babi Monster will become one of the defining girl groups of this generation. The question is, how far is the ceiling? And right now, watching everything they are doing, honestly, I don't think there is one. And that is a wrap on today's video. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much, it genuinely means everything. If this video gave you a new appreciation for BABYMONSTR, or if you're already a monstie who just needed this breakdown, please hit that like button, it helps more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And most importantly, drop a comment below. Who is your Babi Monster bias, and what achievement of theirs blew your mind the most? I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one. Annyeong.